Hey, it's Cliff, and unfortunately, another CFI exchange is stopping withdrawals. So let me go ahead and bring this article up here. And it states that Voyager announced it is temporarily suspending trading deposits, withdrawals, and loyalty rewards. And below that, there is a quote from their CEO who says, "This was a tremendously difficult decision, but we believe it is the right one given the current market conditions. This decision gives us additional time to continue exploring strategic alternatives with various interested parties while preserving the value of the Voyager platform we have built together. We will provide additional information at the appropriate time." So yeah, in this one they weren't really saying a whole lot. It's kind of like the Celsius situation, but then below that we can kind of piece together what happened, which says Voyager previously announced that its subsidiary Voyager Digital LLC issued a notice of default to Three Arrows Capital, that is 3AC, for failure to make the required payments on its previously disclosed loan of 15,250 Bitcoin and 350 million USDC. That's a lot of money. Voyager is actively pursuing all available remedies for recovery from 3AC, which 3AC has been forced to liquidate, so they will be lucky if they get even a fraction of the money that they loaned out. So that was the news for the 1st of July, but then this is what came out today, and unfortunately it is stating that Voyager is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now that is different from Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which pretty much means the company would be done if they filed for Chapter 7. That is liquidate all your assets and you are done ski, where Chapter 11 is more a restructuring of your company. You can continue operations, so you'll still have inflow of income that hopefully you can use to pay off your debt and continue business as normal. It just depends on if the company has enough to pull through or not. So they state here, this comprehensive reorganization is the best way to protect assets on the platform and maximize value for all stakeholders, including customers, said Stephen Ehrlich, Chief Executive Officer of Voyager. Voyager's platform was built to empower investors by providing access to crypto asset trading with simplicity, speed, liquidity, and transparency. While I strongly believe in this future, the prolonged volatility and contagion in the crypto market over the past few months and the default of the Three Arrow Capital on a loan from the company's subsidiary require us to take deliberate and decisive action now. The Chapter 11 process provides an efficient and equitable mechanism to maximize the recovery. So right off the bat, the one thing I don't really know a lot about this guy, but to me it seems like he is blaming a lot of this on the volatility of the crypto market. And don't get me wrong, I'm a pro crypto guy, but obviously we're down like 50 to 60% on Bitcoin. Of course there is volatility. But when I see this leader blame the volatility of the crypto market, that just shows weak leadership to me. That's just what it comes down to. Like, this is like, we know there's going to be a bear cycle and it's going to last for like 2 to 3 years. And if you didn't structure your company to prepare for that, then your company just sucks. That's what it comes down to. And then for him to additionally blame the Three Arrow Capital situation, well, you loaned them money. So you made the decision to loan money to a company that turned around and loaned that money to a Ponzi scheme. And that's why you're in the situation in the first place. So let's not just blame it on market volatility. Let's take a little bit of personal responsibility on yourself as the leader of this company. And then if you want to turn around and blame your risk management team and fire them, I'd be okay with that. But let's be real and not give us this political talk. So anyway, you can see here, this is the actual Chapter 11 bankruptcy form that was filed, so we know this is actually going on. Plus they have a public statement here where they talk about the restructuring, so we know this is definitely legit. One thing that did come up is people were wondering about the FDIC insurance with Voyager. So let me point this out here. It says customers with USD deposits in their accounts will receive access to those funds after a reconciliation and fraud prevention process is completed with Metropolitan Commercial Bank. So a lot of this came from fear. Basically what Voyager was doing is they were stating that their money was FDIC insured, which technically it was. It wasn't insured through Voyager because Voyager's an LLC and not a bank, and that's where they kind of misled people, and actually misled people to the point that the bank that they used to deposit the customer funds actually came out and made a statement that FDIC insurance coverage is available only to protect against the failure of metropolitan commercial bank. So obviously, if the bank that Voyager uses goes under, then yes, you would have FDIC coverage, but not necessarily if Voyager went under, right? But in theory, the money would still be there in the bank if Voyager went under, and then they could pay you what they were promising would be insured. Now, the question comes up, was Voyager actually depositing this money into the bank? Do we know that for sure? I'm sure because Voyager is a publicly traded company, you could probably go through their accounting paperwork and see if they were actually depositing this money. And if they weren't, they would probably be sued quite heavily, which is why we have this statement here that says USD deposits are most likely safe. So granted, if some massive mismanagement of money actually happened, then maybe you wouldn't receive your money. But it seems like, from what I'm looking into here, if you have USD, like actual dollars on the platform, you're probably okay. You got crypto on the platform, you might get a fraction back depending on if the company can bounce back from this Chapter 11 or not. It just depends. We got to wait and see at this point. But if you had stable coins, that is not FDIC insured at all. You needed USD. So hopefully that kind of gives you my opinion on what's going on with that, because that's the main issue I think people were worried about, is if this money was actually FDIC insured or not. So that's what I believe. I think you'll probably get your USD back, but if you got crypto, yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait around and see what happens. But that's pretty much everything going on in the Voyager news. Leave me a comment down below, and thank you for watching.